Welcome to episode 8 of the Think Science series. In the last episode, we saw the air versus water pressure experiment. In that very experiment, we saw the difference between the water pressure and the air pressure. Today, we'll have another mind-blowing experiment which I titled the balloon in flame experiment. The goal of the experiment is that we'll see the real life application of heat conduction. It's an amazing experiment that I promise you will enjoy. Sit tight and let's enjoy ourselves in a world of science. Thank you. For this experiment, we shall be needing a shallow dish, lighter, which will serve as the source of light, the candle, the balloon, and the tiny cloth which we shall use to hold the balloon. This will serve as the point where we'll place the candlestick. So we shall pour water to the balloon. So let's pour water into the balloon. I think that's enough. That's enough. So we'll now add air to it. I think this is enough. So let's reduce a bit so we can tie. Good. So now we'll tie the balloon. We ensure it's tight so we don't lose air from any place. All right. Yeah. So I think we are good now. So the next thing now is to light up the candle. So now we shall light up the candle. So look at what will happen. So let's see how close we can bring this balloon. Still intact. So nothing happens. So bring it close to it, nothing happens. So let's lose the balloon and pour the water out. So let's add air to it again. So let's tie. So for the very first case, when we placed an empty balloon close to the flame, the surrounding air became hot, transferring heat to the balloon. This very heat created a tiny hole in the balloon from which the balloon popped. But for the second case, we poured water into the balloon, brought it close to the flame, and the balloon was intact. So what happens in that very case? Water, being a very good conductor of heat, absorbs the whole heat. Alright? Without this heat coming in direct contact with the balloon. And that's why the balloon stayed in place. So the water absorbs the whole heat. All right. So, but when we leave it for some time, we realize that the balloon will what? Will pop. All right. So, what happens in that very case? As we leave it for some time, the water is absorbing more heat. Is absorbing more heat. And over time, the water will transfer this heat to the balloon. It gets to a point where the water becomes hot and the balloon starts absorbing its own heat. And this very heat will still create a tiny hole from which the balloon will pop as well. So the entire concept of the experiment lies on heat conduction. Oh, yes, I believe you understood the concept behind heat conduction. In our next episode, we shall look at the working water experiment. We shall see the water work after 24 hours. Now, don't just leave, like the video, share it, and hit the subscription button, and also turn on your notification bell so you will get notifications when we post new videos.